All right, let's get into this next story. This comes from ABC News from February 23. Man who uses drone to help hunters recover deer carcasses to appeal conviction. A Pennsylvania man who uses drones to try to locate wounded deer shot by hunters so they can retrieve their carcasses had been convicted of violating state hunting laws. So Joshua Wingroth, 35, of Downington, plans to appeal his verdict handed down Thursday by Lancaster County District Judge Raymond Scheller. The case apparently marked the first time anyone has been cited or tried in Pennsylvania for using a drone to recover dead game animal, and it hinged on whether Wingroth was involved in hunting as defined by state law. So again, there's a growing trend of people using dogs for deer recovery. After a deer is shot while hunting, there are a few that are out there that are using drones, using either their spotlights, or another big thing is with their thermal cameras to be able to find game out in the field. And again, a little bit of a debate in regards to using certain technologies in the pursuit of harvesting game or recovery of game as well. And that's basically what this story is really going to get into. Basically, the laws are a little, unclear in regards to, this type of technology being utilized and how they ended up convicting him, or how they pursued on their investigation on him is almost a little shady, but we'll get into that. So Joshua, who openly advertised his business in area publications, is told by state game wardens last year that such activity was illegal, authorities said, although they told his lawyer that his lawyer sees things differently. On December 6th, an undercover game commission officer contacted Joshua and asked him to meet him to help find a deer that he shot in Welsh Mountain National Preserve. Joshua met the officer, where within an hour the officer signed a waiver stating he wanted to recover a deer carcass, but if the deer was found still alive, he agreed to hunt the deer another day. So this is key. So he got convicted of hunting with a drone. However, he even puts in that if they find the deer and it's still alive, that they are not going to go pursue that animal immediately, that there has to be a time frame after that animal was found and still to be alive. Joshua, who did not know the shot deer story was fabricated and part of a sting operation, soon launched his drone and piloted it around remotely using thermal camera settings to show the scenery in black and white. He soon caught view a live deer and turned the camera's infrared settings to show it in heat map. He later turned the settings off and activated spotlight to view the deer normally. However, he and the officer were soon approached by game warden, who confiscated the drone and cited Joshua for 2 counts of using illegal electronic devices during hunting and single count of disturbing wildlife or game or wildlife and violating regulations in recreational spotlighting. Since the legal definition includes tracking, hunting, and recovery, authorities said Joshua technically used the drone to hunt game. He was convicted of all 4 counts and fined $1,500. Joshua's attorney, Michael Siddon, said his client planned to appeal this verdict. He argues that the trial and the state law concerning the use of devices while hunting are archaic, saying they have been patched over time to cover new technology, but not yet addressed for drones. Sutton said if Joshua used the drone to locate an animal before shooting it, it would be illegal poaching. But Joshua insisted he believed the deer was dead, and he only used the drone after hunting hours had ended and was never intending to hunt. So that's the big kind of interesting bit about this story, is that The topic of using drones for recovery of deer is going to be one that's going to be debated probably over the next several years. Now, me personally, I don't see an issue with drone recovery, but there is always that temptation to use a drone to hunt or to, get on deer or find deer before going in for a hunt. That's always going to be the case. Now, the other part too is, okay, so you fly a drone over a particular property, you see, a target buck or something like that on the property. You still have to basically, either, if you're hunting by yourself, you have to land that drone and then go in there and after the deer. Now, I could see an issue in regards to, if you have a pilot flying a drone and you're going in for like a stalk or, hunting in a pair. But again, a lot of states and other, regulations don't allow for like two-way communication while hunting. So even that of itself, it would cause, other rules to be broken anyways. So I think that most of what the issue is that a lot of state agencies are not equipped or prepared for the use of drones in this regard or for recovery of deer, and they're trying to catch up with the technology being implemented, trying to set rules to make sure that people aren't using them or abusing them in some manner to I guess unfairly harvest deer or other game species. I will say this, that they do have to be careful about implementing, punishment in regards to using these drones if they don't have the laws that, directly address this type of technology. Or again, in the instance that he actually has people sign a waiver that they are not going to pursue a live animal, while utilizing the drone, he's using it after hours. And then if he does locate a live deer, that they have to pursue it the next day. It really goes back to, like, yes, if maybe he was, it was still during daylight and he didn't sign any type of waiver, and once the deer was alive, he told the the conservation officer to go in there and go after it. That would be, definitely a case of like, he's using that drone, they're hunting down that deer. But in how he handled it, at least according to the story, he did everything right. And again, this law probably just needs to be updated to facilitate, using technology, some form of technology, to be able to recover wounded deer. Once the deer has been wounded, you do want to try to use every resource available to try to either confirm that deer is either alive or dead, and to recover it. That way it's not a wasted resource, just rotting out in the field. So again, the story on drones and the use of drones in regards to hunting, and even utilizing them for like video footage, for like hunting shows and whatnot, that's going to be a hot topic for the next few years. And it's up to game agencies, individual hunters, or videographers and whatnot, to hash out the details as to how they can still utilize these drones in these instances, but yet have protections that it's not going to be abused or cause issues.